So first and foremost, before we go into like coding, I just want to start with Git Basics. So before we do that, we go here. So this is our playground for this one. And to start with the Git Basics, if you are using the course pack, it will be in the descriptions below if it's already available. So check it out later on. If you're using the course pack, the folder already has the minimum viable development environment. So we will build that minimum viable development environment here. So first and foremost, to start with Git, given that if I do an ls or list of the files, there's nothing in here. Even if I want to show the hidden folders, it's just the current folder, which is the dot, and the parent folder, which is dot dot. So to start off with Git, we will do a git init. So this initializes the .git folder to make it a Git repository. So if we do an ls-a, it shows up. Of course, if we just do ls, because .git is considered a hidden folder, it's not normally shown. So to start with Git, let's just add, if we do a Git status, it says on branch master, no commits yet. There's nothing to commit because there's no change. The idea of Git is it allows us to, in essence, double save our setup. So if we create a file, like let's say readme.md, this one becomes a file, of course. So this is, let's say, Backend Basics. If I save it, of course, it's saved in the system. But once this system, let's say I deleted the readme, I don't have a way to get it back to its former state unless I use a recycle bin, if you're using recycle bin in your computer. But usually when I delete stuff, I totally delete it. Git allows you to have a history of changes in your folder that allows you to see what activity you did, what files were committed in the system, and see also the differences between files. So this is useful when you are already part of a particular organization later on, and there's this single repository that you access with your teammates and see who did this line of code and what did they do, what is the activity, so you can tag a particular activity to it. So I'll just show you the how it works. And so the idea here is, if I do a git status, you'll see that it says here untracked files. The idea of it is this is not yet part of the Git repository. So that means if I delete it, it's gone forever. I don't know what happened to it. But if I add it up, so git add readme, and I do a git status, it becomes changes to be committed. So this is already on stage. So that's the keyword, on stage. Your file is on stage. And to commit it, I'll just use the git commit command. -m allows me to write a string in double quotation marks saying what I did. I can say what I did. And usually I follow a certain structure. So I put in here, let's say this is a chore that I want to use. So I'm usually the things that I use is fix, if I'm fixing a bug. If it's a new feature, it's FEAT or feat. And then if I'm creating a docs, so docs. And if it's something like just a particular chore, I'm just using chore for this one, and add readme md file. So this is my usual structure, and I would say that it's best to follow this structure so that it will be useful for automations, like if you want to use the ability to create a change log using your git commits you can parse this up. So again, this is how I usually structure my commit. So I press enter, and it says here that one file has been changed with one insertion, and it's this file. So if I do a git status, it's gone now. Nothing to commit. Working 3 is clean. If I use git log, I will see the history of what I did. This is the commit ID, a unique reference to the commit, and the description of that commit. So if I do another one, which is touch index.js, and then add index.js, git commit m chore add index.js, and then if I do a git log, you'll see the history starting from the newest to the oldest. And now if I do this again, if I delete index.js, so git status, because index.js has been committed before, I could just use git restore index.js, and it can be restored to its sort of glory, or the code itself. Let's say I add something that is not tracked, so let's say index.html, so git status, and then I remove index.js, and then git status. So as you can see, there's an untracked file in index.html, and then I've deleted index.js, and let's say I remove again index.html, and I do a git status. You'll see that I cannot restore index.html because it wasn't tracked before. So the only thing that I can restore is the committed index.js. Now the thing is, what if again I remove index.js, and then git status, and then after git status, I committed it. So git add, or well, we can use a shortcut git add all. So that means git add all the changes to the stage. So if I git status, I can still restore it, restore stage index.js, and you can see that the it will be going back to the unstaged part, so I can still restore it. But git add all and git status, you'll see this one, and let's say I git commit it. I committed the change, so chore delete file index.js. So now if I do a git status, I cannot restore it anymore. It's part of the git history. But there's still a way to restore the file by accessing the commit and then putting it on master, but that's a little bit medium difficulty on this one. So for now, we'll just use the basics of adding the changes to your commit history, and then adding it into your commit history, as well as committing it, making sure that the history is updated. So I press Q to exit that list, and we'll start with our next video.